technical errors, and you know that this is what we cannot really, avoid. I mean, sometimes it happens like that. So I have to say that I'm very sorry that I'm coming late tonight. But all the same, I know that for as many as I've waited, I mean, you've been longing for this tonight, and honestly, I'm so excited because tonight we're going to be talking and concluding a very important topic that we started last week. All right, I came with my phone tonight, and I'm going to keep it for now. Yeah, excuse me. Okay. Yeah, I kept my phone away because I really want to concentrate, and I'm going to be sitting tonight because we just want to discuss. Okay, so we really just want to talk one on one, face to face, and let's trash out this issue once and for all. As you can see above me, there is a big question there that says, who am I? Who am I really? You know, it's a question that a lot of people have not answered up till now. I don't know your age. One of my sister friends, I mean, put on her Facebook. I just saw that tonight. I mean, she put the ages of people that were born in different years, and I looked at the year I was born. I found out that I'm actually going to be 37 years old. I mean, I can't believe that. Now that explains the gray hair that I have on my head. I mean, so we're not getting younger. And can you imagine that so many of us, even whatever age we have, we've not been able to answer that simple question, who am I? A lot of us, the best way we can still define ourselves or introduce ourselves is by our name. I mean, some do a bit better. They introduce themselves by what they do. I mean, but that really does not really define us, okay? Enough of external things or things that are around us, environmental things, determining who we really are. It's high time we answered that question sincerely and know why we are here. So last week we started a topic that says values, and that's what we're going to try to, go a bit further tonight. Probably we won't be able to finish because I have just less than 45 minutes to really speak tonight. But all the same, we're going to deal with some very cogent themes and some very cogent points tonight that I believe is going to set a lot of people free and is going to be helpful to a whole lot of people. So one thing you're going to do for me is, I don't want you to be selfish. I want you to share this video. The moment you see me speaking live, just help me click on that share button. Even if you cannot invite all your friends, which I would have loved you to do, just help me to click on that share button and let people get to see this. That's the only way I get paid, all right? When people see it. Not that anybody pays me physical cash, but my joy is that people get to learn and acquire knowledge and get their problems solved. That's what gives me joy, about this program. So I want you to do that for me, and definitely you will be blessed for that. And I also want to thank Clevernat TV and radio for giving us this opportunity. This beautiful platform, making us looking more beautiful than we normally are or naturally are. It's beautiful. I really want to thank them, and I still want to encourage you to subscribe to that TV station. It's online, it's on Facebook, you can see it on YouTube, and you can go to their website www.clevernat.com or in whatever language that you want it. So that's how I want to start tonight, by appreciating people. And I really want to appreciate those of you that have been following up. Lots of people have been sending messages to me like, it's 8 o'clock, are you not coming online, and all that. Thank you very much for staying there and following through with this program. I know that you're being blessed, and I hope that whatever I'm talking about will be a blessing to you one way or the other. So last week, I'm not going to be able to do a recap of the things I talked about because of my time, but if you've not been with us since last week, I'll encourage you to see the video from last week. Everything is always on our page, on our Facebook page. You can check my personal Facebook page, or Top Soul Facebook page, or Clevernat TV Facebook page. You can always find our videos there, and you can take your time and listen to them. They are always loaded. That's one guarantee I can always give to you. So we started talking about values last week, and I said to you that values are actually what defines us. Values are the things that define what we do, how we react. I mean, it's our lives. Okay, values are our lives. So everything you're doing, everything that you are, is actually decided by your values. So you need to listen to that video. Okay, it's been a step towards defining who we really are. But like I said, there are two kinds of values that I want us to look at tonight, which is very important, because the most important thing for us in life that a lot of us have really not been able to find out is who we really are. And let me define you for you. If you really want to know who you are defined by your core values. So how do you know your core values? How do you decide your core values? How do you form your core values? So if you don't know what your core values are, then you might not be able to know who you really are. And if you don't know who you are, honestly, you might not know what you're supposed to be doing part-time, where you're supposed to be, who you're supposed to be with. So it's extremely important that you really understand what your core values are. All right. So, but in understanding or defining what your core values are, there are two kinds of values that you need to understand. And that's what I want to talk about tonight. So we're going to go slowly. Honestly, if I'm not going to be able to finish this, we finish it next week. Okay. I really don't want to rush this, and I want to entertain questions. After the show, I always find out that there are hundreds and hundreds of people that have watched. I mean, lots of people really call me up and say, yeah, we watching your videos and we support you and we love you. Even Facebook puts it there that the way that you can support me and make me understand that you're watching is by liking it or sharing it or making a comment. So I will always love you to put a comment. If it's not good, just say this is shit, this is not good. If it's good, just say good, keep it up. I need your comments. I need your comments to grow. I need your criticism. I need all that to grow. Okay, so please, if you're watching, please make comments, and if you have questions, don't be shy. Even though it's a public platform, but honestly, you should ask your questions. Nobody really cares, all right, about people. That's one thing I found out in life. Nobody really cares, but I care. And that's why I want you to ask your questions. No matter how intelligent those questions might seem, I hope that in my foolishness I can say something. No matter how foolish the questions might seem, I hope that we will be able to trash it out. Okay, so don't be shy to ask your questions, and you can ask in any language. Thank God for Google. If I don't understand your language, I'll Google it. All right, so please, let's put that in mind. But let's go straight to what we want to talk about tonight: the two kinds of values. I'm going to make an analysis first, and then we look at some examples, and I will use myself as a personal example, hopefully tonight or in my next teaching, so that you will really understand what we want to talk about, because it's practical. All right, it's very practical, and I want you to take it like that. I want you to be sincere with yourself, all right, while listening to this tonight. While I was coming, there was something that came to my mind, and I said I was going to share that before I continue to define the two types of values. Something came to my mind that there are two very important questions in life that can help in defining us and in defining who we really are. Those questions are why and what. I found out that the very successful and very joyful people that are happy and are fulfilled in life, are those people that value the question why. And the very depressed and frustrated people are those people that value the question what. Do you know that there are so many of us that we've known our what, and then in knowing our what, we are trying to find our why. And that's the stage that so many people are in life. It might not be your fault to a point, but I mean, from tonight, after listening to this, it will be your fault if you don't make a change. Okay, let me explain that a little bit. Maybe we have a little understanding of that. For example, when we were young, when we were growing up, the things that our parents asked us was always the what question. Okay, what do you want to do now after secondary school? I want to go to the university. Okay, you should go to the university. What course do you want to study? Then you say chemical engineering. Oh, why not study medicine? Okay, medicine. It's still what you go in and study medicine. So after medicine, the next question is, what do you want to do now? What type of job? What job do you want to get now? Well, I will apply. Then you get the job, and then once you've gotten the job, then what happens? Then you begin to look for fulfillment in the job. Then you find out that a lot of people are depressed and frustrated because all their lives the questions they've always asked was the what question. And then they want to ask the why question after they've asked so many what questions. And that brings frustration and depression. And that's why statistics says that most people that have died, from statistics, they died on Monday morning. Why? Because they woke up going to a job that they did not like, and then they had heart attacks. So that's disheartening, and that's still happening today. A lot of people wake up and they are not happy to go to work. They are not happy to go to do that job. Why? Because the questions they've always asked to that point was the question of what? What should I do to pay my house rent? What should I do to make money? And that is a very deadly question. But we find out that most of us, that's the question we've asked up until now. But those that have been very happy in life, they ask the why question first. They always ask themselves why. And when they have been able to sort out the why question, then they begin to ask the questions what. And then you find out that they actually come from the point of joyfulness to get to fulfillment. So it's very different. And that's how I want you to reason tonight. Can you reverse your life? Oh, yes. What do you need to do? You need to reverse the questions you've been asking yourself. Okay, so just put that in mind. We'll come back to that because that is the core of our teaching tonight, and it will be very practical. Now, let me quickly run through the two types of values that we have tonight. I'll differentiate. Okay, in school they used to say differentiate between plants and animals, and then you make a rule. I made a rule here: plants, animals. Plants have legs, animals don't have legs. I missed it. I wasn't so brilliant in school, don't mind me, but with these I can teach this. Okay. All right. So let's look at the two values that I call the means values and the ends values. What are means values and what are ends values? By the time you understand these two types of values, then it will be easier for you to define your life. The first thing I say here is that means values, most of the time, they can both, all the time, they can both be material and non-material. That's a means value. So if you have a value and it's something physical, it's something that you can measure, it's something that you can touch, then it's probably a means value. But on the other hand, the ends values are non-material. They are not things. They are not things. They are emotional. They might be psychological. They might be emotional. They might be spiritual. They are not things at all. Can I give a practical example? One example is money. Do you love money? Do you love to have money? Maybe some of you don't. I love to have money. I love to have a lot of money, not just money. I love to have a lot of money. All right, fine. Money is substantial. Money is measurable. So it means that I cannot make money my end value. Money is not an end. It's a means to an end because it's material. So every value that we have that is materialistic is not an end value. There is always something behind it. There is always something next to it. But let's look at a value like integrity. Can you hold integrity? No. Can you measure integrity? No. Those are very relative. It's very relative. So when you talk about end values, that's what I mean by they are non-material things. They can never be material things, okay? So that's the first thing that you need to get into your mind right now. So your means values will always be material. They might also be non-material, but your end values are never material. They are non-material. Number two, means value, they can be changed, they can be modified, and they can be measured. So you can always change your means values. Is that not good news? That's a good news. So you can always change it. You can always modify it. All right. You can always measure it. You can measure the amount of money you have, isn't it? That's right. You can measure. You can tell how much money you have. It's very possible. You can tell how much success you have in your career. It's very possible. You can tell how much success you have in your business, for example. You can tell how much fame you have. Those things are measurable. All right. I mean, they were saying the other day who has more followers on Twitter between Messi and Ronaldo. So they're trying to measure their fame. So for me, fame is not it's not an ends value. It's a means value because it's measurable. But a lot of people mistake that. I mean, they want to become famous. And after that, what? Fame doesn't give joy. It's just a means to something. It should be a means to something. And that's why you find out that a lot of popular people, famous people, they end up taking their lives. They end up being miserable. Why? Because most of them actually made fame their ends value, which is not. It's measurable. It can never be an ends value. All right. So on the other hand, end values cannot be changed, modified, or measured. You can't measure it. That's why I said it's relative. Okay, what you feel. For example, joy. Can you measure joy? You can't. Can you measure love? You can't. You can't measure love. You can't say that this one is more lovable than this one. No, it's not possible because it's relative to each individual. The way they enjoy it is relative to them. I mean, so you can't measure it, and that's why it's an end value. There is no limit to it. That's what I mean by that. There is no limit to it. Okay. Now, number 3 is that means value. Oftentimes they bring motivation and happiness. All right. Now, I think that's very positive. So when you have anything that can give you motivation and happiness, you're talking about means values. All right. So if you have your core values, you need some means values also. All right. Those are the things that can bring you motivation. Those are the things that can bring you happiness. But what about the end values? They always bring joy and fulfillment. So that's why I said that. Why is it that some people have a lot of certain things that all others are running for, and then you expect them to be fulfilled, but yet they are not fulfilled? It's because they've run all their life for the means values, and at the end of it there is still something that is lacking, and that is the end value itself. So the end value is the only thing that brings you joy and fulfillment. So if you're looking for fulfillment in life, you're looking for fulfillment in anything you do, then you should be able to get the end value that will give you that. All right. So fulfillment is an end value, joy is an end value, but happiness and motivation, they are means values. So I mean, they are brought by means values. Okay, so you should be able to understand that. Number 4, which is second to the last, because I'm not going to stay too long on these. Means values are mostly created or formed. All right, so they are our own creations. Most of the times they are our own ideas. They are things that we can control. They are things that we can form. Okay, so and that's why it's very easy for you to change it. You can change your means values. For example, if you have set a goal, all right, that can make you happy, and then if you see that the way you are going about it, you're not going to achieve it, you change your way. All right, you change the means. That's what I mean. You change the means to that. Okay, so you can easily change your means values to get your fulfillment, to get to your fulfillment. So that's why I say that your means values are mostly created or formed. Okay, so it's quite different from the end value, because the end values, you can only discover them. They can only be discovered. It's natural in you. And this is where a lot of people find it difficult to define themselves. That's why a lot of people find it difficult to define themselves, because they want to form their own end values. They want to create their own end values. It doesn't work like that. You don't create it. You discover it. It's been put in you. That's what really makes you. That's what makes me different from you, because the things that will give me joy and satisfaction and fulfillment, they might not be the same thing that will give you joy and satisfaction and fulfillment. And that's why we differ. Excuse me for that. And that's why we differ. And that's why it's only discovered. It's not formed. Okay, so the end values are discovered and they are never formed. Lastly, I say here that the question that is associated with means value, like I said earlier, is the what question. What can I do? What do I need? What? So when you begin to ask the what questions, if the question that you can attach to that value is what question, if you can still ask the question what, then it's a means value. But the question that defines your end values is the question why. Okay, is the question why. So if you ask the question what, and then you get the answer, it's very possible that the value you get from that will be a means value. But when you ask the question why, and you keep asking the question why, and then you are able to define the why, then that probably will be the end value. Okay, so I hope it's not too mystical. Okay, it's not too theoretical. I know it's like that to a lot of us, because I mean, if it's that easy, I know it's easy, but if it's all that easy, we should have been able to all answer the question, who am I? So you're still going like, okay, this guy is still going crazy, and I really don't understand what he's saying. Now you will understand now, because we come down to the practical side of it. Okay, now all these things I've been talking about, let's come down to the practical side of it. Now I said in order to discover your core values in life, you must be able to differentiate between the means values and the ends values. Like I said, your core values is what defines you. I'm going to use myself as an example. I'll tell you my core values tonight. Okay, for those that don't know, I mean, you will know what I really value, what the principles, or some people call it your principles, your life principles. Now, but I call it my core values. Okay, the things that will give me fulfillment in life, the things that will, when I achieve it, when I get to that point, I am fulfilled, I am satisfied, I have joy. Okay, those are the things I'm talking about. They might be very many, but you have to live. That's why we are alive. You are alive to discover what gives you fulfillment. You are alive to discover what you need to do, or who you need to be fulfilled, to be an impact to the world. Okay, so that's why you are alive. So you should be happy. So that you have not discovered it doesn't mean that you are finished. Okay, it's just that you are starting, and you, hopefully, I hope you discover that tonight. So in order to discover what your core values are, or to define who you really are, you need to understand the difference, deeply, the difference between the means values and the ends values. All right, so if you can tell what type of value your core values are, your success rate in life multiplies. So I know that many of us, we've been having lots of success, okay, in what we've been doing. But the moment you are able to really understand and define the difference between between end values and means values, you find out that your success rate begins to multiply, because now you really know who you are. You will know exactly what you ought to be doing, and you know how you ought to be doing them. Okay, so that's what we're going to achieve tonight. Now I have some exercises here, and this is why I said I want you to be sincere, okay, in answering these questions. If you like, you can type your answers on the comment section. I mean, when I read them, I'm going to comment on them, okay? And if you have anything to also add to what I'm saying tonight, please, I want to learn from you. Everybody wants to learn from you also. Now, the first question I want to ask you is, who are you? Who are you? Have you ever asked yourself that question? Who am I? Okay, maybe your name. Okay, is a good start. By defining your name or telling your name. You know, someone asked me the other day, he said, what's your name? I said, Akinshola. He said, what does that mean? And I defined it. And after defining my name, I just interpreted it. The person, she said, wow, no wonder you are into business and you like making money and you like doing business. I said, well, maybe that's one of the reasons. Maybe my name helped me out. Maybe your own name too can help you in that way. But if your name has nothing to do with who you are, well, then you have to find out who you really are, and not just stop at defining your name. I'm lucky. Maybe my parents were very spiritual that they gave me a name that actually defines, what I should be doing. I won't call it luck. I would say it's divine arrangement. Okay, all right. So you should be careful the name you give to your children. All right, be careful. That's a point. Don't give them names that will be contrary to what they're supposed to be, because maybe at the end of the day they can only define themselves by their names, and then you make matters worse for them. All right. Don't be like the mother of Jabez that gave the boy a very terrible name. In sorrow I bear him. And the boy, after growing up, he couldn't define who he really was, and he was living a life of sorrow. But we read that he prayed that God should do what? Not that God should change his name. Can you see that? But that God should change his own personality, his orientation. So what changed in Jabez was not his name, it was his mind. To enlarge his mind, to be able to think bigger, to be able to think contrary to what he had believed. So he changed his value system. All right. He used to think small. He began to think big. He used to think insecure. He began to think secure. That God will enlarge my coast and, protect me and shield me and all that. So he changed his orientation. And that's what you can do. All right. So if your name does not favor you, I'm just saying, if your name does not favor you, define who you are by who you are in your mind and not just your name. Well, but the first question is, who are you? I want you to think about that. Maybe that's the only question you think about tonight. Sleep over it. Who am I really? Okay. Now, to help you to do that, let me break it down and ask you the second question. What defines you? What defines you? When people see you, what do they see? What do they say? Let me use myself as an example. When people see me, the first thing they see is all smiles, positive. People really ask me that a lot. People really comment that about me. Like, wow, you are so positive. You are just positive about everything. So I'm a very positive person. So if you're trying to look for my values, if I'm trying to look for my values, I think one of them is positivity. I love to be positive about everything. But that's not an end value, okay? Because I can ask myself, why? Why should I be positive, even in the face of a negative thing? You see that question now coming. So if I'm able to answer that, then I'm going towards my end values. All right. Now, so maybe you are a joyful person. You are a happy person. People see you and go like, wow, you are so always happy. That's good. That's part of definition of who you really are. All right. So that's what I'm talking about. You need to begin to ask yourself questions. What do people say about me? What do I say about myself? What do I see in myself? Every day I wake up, I see potentials in me. I'm talking about myself personally. I see potentials in me. When I'm walking on the road, I'm talking about the potentials that I have. Every day I wake up, I just feel like now I can start another business. I can do this business. I can solve this problem. I see myself as a solution to problems. So all the things, every time I'm walking, every time I'm jogging, every time I'm not doing anything or talking to people or praying, I'm thinking about problems and I'm thinking about how to solve them, especially economic problems, especially business problems. All right. So what defines you? I hope they are not negative, because if it's negative, you have to change them. No one is made to be negative, all right? Every negativity is just the absence of the positive things that is supposed to be in our lives. If what defines you is anger, then you need to change that. Okay, why are you angry? Maybe there is a particular problem that makes you angry. Then it's good to be angry, okay? Even the Bible says that we should be angry, but we should not sin. All right. Now, you should not now define yourself by the anger, but you should define yourself by what is not supposed to be that you are seeing. Do you understand what I'm saying now? For example, you see corruption in Nigeria, and every day you wake up, you are very angry, and people see you as, you are so angry. Now, let them understand that you are not angry, you just don't like corruption. You like justice. So what should define you should not be angry or anger or like define you as an angry person. They should see you as a just person. Like, this guy loves justice. I know someone like that. He doesn't like cheating. Anytime there's someone cheating the other, he's angry. And people are like, you are always angry. No, I just don't like cheating. Okay, now we understand. All right. So even in the negativity of your life, you need to find out who you really are. That's why I'm saying that enough of the external things defining who we are. It's high time we go inside ourselves to really ask the question, why? Why am I so always angry? Why am I not positive? Okay, that's what I'm talking about. Now, so the third question is, what are the important things for you? What are those things that are very important for you? What are the things that when you see around makes you happy? Or when you see them, you are not happy? Now, if there are things that makes you happy, positive things, those are the important things to you. If there are things that you see that you are not happy with, it means that the opposite are the important things to you. I've given you the example of injustice, okay, or corruption. When you see those things, you are not angry, okay? It means that what really matters to you is justice. What really matters to you is fairness, okay? So you should be able to define that question. So what are the important things for you? Is it people? What are the important things for you about people? There are some people that cannot stand to see others suffering. Some don't care. Honestly, some don't really care. But there are certain people that they can't just see other people suffering. I can't see other people suffering. I don't like it, but honestly, it's not as though I'll go out of my way to do something for them. I have to be sincere with you. If I'm going on the road and every day I see people suffering on the road, begging, I don't always give money to them. Why? Because for me, I believe that what they need is knowledge. So the only thing I'm thinking about is how can I impact these people? Sometimes I wait to talk to some of them. Last week I was just walking by. I saw a lady, just sitting by herself crying. And I felt like, okay, let me just speak with this one. What's the problem? And we kept chatting. And after a while, I was able to impact a little and I left her. Now, some people won't do that. That's not what is important to them. What is important to them is just that she's hungry, I'll give you money. Just take money, go and eat food. And that's it. So they just want to give money. So we are different, all right? I'm not saying that my life should be your own standard. No, I'm only saying that you can learn from me to understand what is really important to you. One thing that is very important to me is knowledge. I hate people being in ignorance. And that's why a lot of people, when they look at me and the way I live my life, I've had this so many times. People say this a lot, that Shola, you can't really do well in business. So I say, why? Because you're revealing every secret to these people. Someone said to me, and I'll quote the person, he said, the more you keep people in ignorance, the more money you make from them. And I was like, wow. It's true. If you want to be a shrewd businessman, it's actually true. But I don't see it that way because I can't be that way. Because I'm the type that I can't just imagine. I cannot just stand people being in ignorance. I just want to teach them. I just want them to know what is right and what is wrong. Are you getting my point now? So you need to really understand and answer that question. What are the important things for you? And lastly, let's ask the golden question. Why? Everything you are doing today, I want you to begin to ask that question. If you sincerely ask that question and you're able to answer them, then you will be able to know what your purpose is in life. Start from where you are. Why are you, for example, I'm in Spain. Why am I in Spain? Because I didn't want to stay in Nigeria. Why didn't I want to stay in Nigeria? There was no security. Okay, if there is no security, what do I need security for? Why do I need security? Then I can go on and on and on and on like that. So until I get to the point where I go like, if I ask a question why, and then I can say so that I can do this, and then there is no need to ask the question why again, then you've gotten to what your end value is. And possibly that is why you are alive. It's a lot of job, but nobody's going to do it for you. Hello? That's the scary part of it. I've heard so many people go to pastors, go to prophets, even go to all these astrologers to read their stars for them, to tell them their destiny. They will take your money, they will give you some spiritual exercises, but at the end of the day, they will still tell you to go and find out for yourself. They will tell you general things. Oh, your star is bright. Your future is bright. Whose future is not bright? Hello? Everybody's future is bright. Forget it. Okay, I don't need someone to tell me that my future is bright. I just don't know it. I want to know my future. And your future is bright. To what extent is it bright? They cannot tell because it's an end value. Okay, the brightness of your future is an end value and it is relative. So you can't tell. They can tell that, okay, your future is brighter than that of your brother. But how do you measure that? It's immeasurable. Do you know the extent your brother can get to? You don't even know his own potentials. Your brother's success doesn't have a limit in itself. His own end value doesn't have a limit. So it means that if you cannot tell that, then how can you tell yours that it's going to be greater than that? You still live in darkness. All right? So don't fool yourself. Don't waste your time. Nobody can find this out for you. Nobody. It's not done. It's your own assignment. That's why you were born. You're born to find it out for yourself. We can only help you. I can give you, like all these guidelines I'm giving you is to help you to discover it. But for me to sit down and answer those questions for you, it's not possible. I can tell a little things about you based on what I see. But am I living inside of you? No. Nobody lives on your inside. So that's why it's very difficult for people to really know what your values are, except you tell them. If I tell you my values, a lot of you will never believe it. But if I tell you my values, then a lot of people will understand why I do what I do. And that's why I said that if your why is well defined, your what will have more impact. You should never forget that statement. If your why is well defined, your what will have more impact. And then you can be fulfilled in life. Okay? Now, after saying that, let me go practical now. Because I know probably some of you, that's all I want to share with you tonight. That's the truth. But now I want to go practical a little bit. Okay? So I'll give examples, and then maybe this will help somebody. Let me give you some of my own values, okay? My core values in life. The first is fun. I love fun. Okay? Why? Because that's what gives me fulfillment. You see that there is no answer to that. Why do you love fun? If I tell you I love fun, will you ask me why? No, because it's going to be foolish to ask me why. Why do you love fun? I'll ask you, who doesn't love fun? But maybe not everybody loves fun, actually. Well, I love fun, and there is no why to it, because that is just what I love. That's an end value. Now, so if I love fun, then it means that there are certain things I'll begin to do. So if I am able to define myself as a fun-loving person, then that will actually help me to decide what I should be doing. And that's why I will never do a job that is not fun. Never. Okay? And that's why anywhere I go to work, I work in places. When I'm working, I always love fun. If there's no fun, I'll listen to comedy or put music or create an atmosphere for people to enjoy and make the place funny. Because that is my value. That is who I am. I'm never in a boring place. So if you want to be my friend and you're a very boring person, we might not be able to we might not be able to go together. Even when I'm teaching in my class, I'm not being funny tonight because I want us to be serious, okay? I want us to be serious, but it's very difficult for me to teach and not create fun. And that's why people love my Spanish class, okay? Because we have fun. Not everybody likes it. I could remember two groups ago, like 2 months, or some groups ago, we were having fun one day. We were having class. Okay, let me put it that way. We were having classes, and we started. I started cracking jokes, and I was just talking, and people were laughing, and we were doing that for almost about 40 minutes. There was only one man. He wasn't laughing. He wasn't finding it funny at all. And at a point, he busted out. He was mad. He was like, "Are we here to learn, or we are here to crack jokes?" I said, "Both of them, sir." And he was mad. And everybody was like, "But we are learning." He said, No. We can't be learning and be laughing. I said, "Well, it's going to be difficult for you because that's what we do here. For 1 month that you're going to be here, you're going to find a way to enjoy it." Now, because that is me, all right? Now, so it means that the kind of classes that I have to create, I'm about to start English classes now for Spanish speakers, and I said to my partner, I said, "Well, we need to meet so that we design our curriculum and we design the activities we'll do in the classes." Why? Because I have to premeditate that. I have to plan it. I have to make it in a way that I will get to my core value. So my school is always unique because it's fun-filled. Not every school is going to be like that. Maybe not too many schools are like that. People want to be serious when they are in school. If you come to my school, I'm sorry, you can't be all that serious. You have to enjoy life. You have to enjoy some fun, all right? Now, why? Because that's my core value. I'm a fun-loving person. So that's an end value for me. So it means that the jobs that I would do has to be around that. At the time, I was actually going into entertainment, like acting, movies, and stuff like that. But it's too difficult for me. For now, I've stopped it. I did a couple of stuffs, but I've stopped that for now. I'm still going to go back to it because it's fun, but I need some money now. So I felt like I can't combine that together for now to make money. All right. So fun is one of my core values. Another one is freedom. I love freedom. The reason I left Nigeria is because of freedom. But we are free. Yeah, you are free. But that's why I said it's relative. I needed freedom to do what I needed to do. Okay? Now, that is the determinant factor for where I am living today. So I didn't just leave. I mean, I'm not just living where I'm living now because I just want to live. No, because it's what goes in line with my core value. Are you getting what I'm saying now? So it's one of my core values, and it's an end value for me, freedom. And the same thing applies to my job. And that's why I will not go and do a job where I cannot leave until I'm so years. No, I want to do a job that any day I like, I can resign and leave. And that's why I love business. Because if you really want ultimate freedom, then you should be self-employed. I'm really working hard on my businesses so that it will get to a point that I have to work for no man anymore. Because I cherish my freedom. Freedom for me is a core value. And that's why I will never do a job that will take away my freedom. Hello? Okay, you're getting my point now. So I'm not going to get a job, and then after getting a job, then I'll begin to look for freedom in it. No. The first thing I consider is my end value, which is freedom. Then I consider the jobs that are available. So if it's one that will not allow me to do the things I still want to do, then I will not take it, no matter how much it offers. This is where a lot of us have made mistakes in the past. We have taken up jobs, and then we begin to look for our values in those jobs. And then at the end of the day, you won't be able to find it. And then you get depressed, you get frustrated. So let your core values, let your end values determine what you do. Okay? So for me, freedom is extremely important. I love to be free. And that's how I live with my kids. I mean, if you see the way I play with my kids, I interact with my kids, I express that value to them. Freedom. I'm not the type of father that they are scared to come and pull his hair or hit his leg or say what they want. I mean, do whatever you like. If you like, don't call me daddy. Just respect. Respect is very important. It's a value that we uphold. Okay? But freedom, I cherish so much. I didn't really get that with my father. I will not lie to you. I mean, those of you that really came from a very strict African home, you knew that. I mean, the first time I touched my father, like old hand, I don't even think I've really held his hand. Like we walked together on the street. Come on now, you know what we called him when we were young? We called him Lion. How would you see his face with his tribal marks? You're scared. Come on, you're already scared. How can you now hold his hands? That's this. We didn't enjoy that freedom. Or you play with him and hit him on the... no, it's not possible. All right? Now, I didn't enjoy that, but I didn't like it. But something within me, all right? Something within me said, no, it's not supposed to be. I mean, so for me now, freedom with my kids, freedom with my wife, freedom with people is extremely important. That's why I don't like people giving titles, Pastor Shola. No, just call me Shola. Come on now. Call me Shola. Don't put the brother, okay? Just call me by my name. I love it. You know, I really enjoy that when I was having the summer school for kids, okay? The kids will just call you by your name. Maybe some of them will just say, Uncle Shola, Uncle. But I love the ones that really called me, Shola, yeah, what are you doing? Let's go. And we played and we were free. All right? And you find out that same core value expresses even to the way I practice my religion. I'm not a strict type, okay? You see, that's why I'm having my beds. Some people say it's a sin to keep beds, it's a sin to do this, it's a sin to wear that. As long as it does not offend the God that I serve, I love freedom. I love freedom in giving. I love freedom in everything. So it's a core value for me. So it determines a lot of things that I do. It determines the kind of clothes that I wear. I love to be free. Simple. That's why tie, suit every time. I'm not really used to it. All right. I love to be free. T-shirt, jeans, and a palm slippers. That's my best outfit. You know, when I was in Nigeria and I wanted to go to weddings, I used to put on clothes like that. My parents would go like, are you mad? People won't see it like that. I say, it doesn't matter how they see it. What matters is how I feel. I feel free. I love it. It's clean. It's beautiful. Sometimes I'll buy some designer t-shirts, okay? I mean, let me be free. I love to be free. How can I put on agbada in that heat? Excuse me. My core value doesn't allow me to do that. All right? So, I mean, freedom is another thing that I love so much. And the third one, which of course defines my career, defines my ministry, is impact and influence. That's one of my core values, and it's an end value. So everything I do, why do you have a school? Because I want to impact and influence people. Why do you have businesses? Because I want to impact and influence people. Why are you doing what you're doing? Why do you want to be on Facebook? No, I don't want to be popular. I want to impact and influence people. That's why I always keep saying that the most important thing for me is that you listen to this and there is a change in your life. I was listening to a speaker today, and he said, for you to really define who you really are, you should be able to tell what your name is, the thing you offer, to whom you offer it, why do you offer it to them, and what is their response to it? What does it change in their life? That if you're able to define that in one sentence, you have defined who you really are. So when people ask me, who are you, shall I tell them, I'm a teacher, a motivational speaker, an inspirational teacher, and I'm a business consultant. And what do? I consult for people, I teach people, I want to impact their lives and make a change in their lives. That is me, that is my life, that is my definition. So everything I will do in life is around that. So if you've been finding it very difficult to know who you really are, begin to ask yourself, what are the things that I really cherish? I mean, the end values, not just the means values. Money is very good. For example, I've mentioned the things that I love. I love fun. I mean, for you to really have fun, let's not lie to ourselves. For you to really have fun, you need a lot of money. You know, the other day I went to the cinema with my kids, and we had lots of fun. It was fun, okay, because we had lots to eat, and we were able to invite friends also. Okay, come on, join us and let's go to the cinema. That's fun, but it costs money, exactly. So money for me is a means value. It's not an end value. That's why if I have €1 billion today, for me the question will still be why? Because for me, I cannot find fulfillment in that. So why do I have such money? Because I want to do this and do this and do this. Then why do I want to do that? Because I want to have fun, because I want to impact the world, because I want to influence people, because I want to change lives. Okay, now, because I want freedom for people. All right? Why do I have Topsol? What we do in Topsol is teaching, honing, and promoting businesses. So why do I want to promote business for people? Because I want people to be financially free. So everything about my life, everything about what I do, everything about what I say, everything about what I practice is around my core values. Okay? Now, I mean, I'm going to stop there. There are still lots and lots. Everyone should be able to find out what his or our core values are. So I hope I've been able to teach a little thing tonight. I mean, it's like I said, it's not like I'll come here and begin to say, okay, give me your name, give me your address, and then I'll tell you what your values are in life or who you are supposed to be in life. No, nobody is going to do that. If anybody is doing that to you, the person is only lying to you, and that's the truth. I just quickly want to check if I'm missing out any questions or anything from anybody. Okay, let's see. If not, because I'm about to round up tonight. Lo siento, Marlene Puyol es la madre de los jefes, ¿ok? Lo siento mucho. En poco tiempo vamos a hacer también en castellano. Estoy buscando un día que podemos hacer este programa en castellano. Mi castellano no es tan bueno, pero todavía puedo comunicarme, ¿no? Entonces vamos a buscar un día si podemos hacer un poquito de entrenamiento en castellano, ¿ok? Porque me gusta mucho la gente que habla castellano. Ellos siempre me llaman, me pide para que podemos hacer también en castellano. Entonces estoy buscando tiempo. Lo que me falta ahora es tiempo. De verdad, porque estoy tan ocupado, pero voy a buscar un tiempo, y si la gente que está escuchando en inglés no me responde bien, voy a cambiar lunes a castellano. Okay? Now, for those of you that don't speak Spanish, what I just said is that if you people that are listening are not really responding, okay, that are listening in English, then I will change it to Spanish, okay, because the Spanish people Thank you very much, because the Spanish people really want to, listen to these and understand. But I'm going to find a time, maybe on the weekend, that I can actually do this also in Spanish to bless people. All right. So I hope I've been able to help you one way or the other tonight. I've not seen any question here. Lo siento mucho. Yeah, lots of people that are watching tonight. Benga Humanist, thank you very much. Mary Abiodun, you are always there. Marlene Puyol, even though you don't understand, you are always watching. She says she likes the passion, the energy that I use when I talk. That's what she watches. But she doesn't speak English. Okay, I'm sorry that you don't speak English, but thank you, Kabiru Ayinla. Thank you very much. And so many other people that have been watching. So if you have any questions, okay, maybe you listen to this video later on, because we're still going to share it and promote it. If you have any questions, you can always type it on that page, okay, on that Facebook page. We will always answer your questions, because I really want you to get your questions out. I really want you to say your mind. I really want you to find out who you really are. I want you to stop living in the shadows of other people. I want you to begin to live for who you really are, because it is in living for who you really are that you get your fulfillment in life. Okay, so from tonight, begin to ask those two questions. Everything you are doing, where you are, begin to ask why. Okay, until you get to the point where you can find your end value, and then you begin to form your core values. One of my core values is excellence. Excellence is not an end in itself, okay, but excellence makes me to achieve a lot of things. It makes me to be different. It makes my business to be unique. I love excellence, and that's why I didn't come on Cleveland TV for a while, because I was still waiting. But when I saw excellence in what they do, I said, yeah, it's time for me to go. I love excellence, and that's why I can't just come here and tell you rubbish, or just speak anything, or read somebody's books and just come and tell you, or listen to somebody and just come and tell you exactly what you've always known. No, I have to do my assignments. I have to, because I want it to be excellent. Excellence is one of my core values, but it's not an end value. For me, it's a means value. Excellence to promote my business, excellence in dressing to attract people, because people will see you first before they listen to you. Okay, so for me, excellence is a means to an end. All right, so you need to ask yourself questions. Everything you've been doing, even the things you are about to do. If you have not started doing it, don't ask the question what, ask the question why. Why do I want to get this job? If you are able to get, because I need money. Why do I need that money? Because I want to buy clothes for my children. Why should I buy this type of clothes for my children? Because I want them to feel proud. Why should they feel proud? Until you get to your end value, don't stop asking questions. And the truth is, if you are very sincere with yourself, you'll get the answers. And by the time you get to the last point, then you will know exactly who you are. And then you won't need any prophet. Honestly, you won't need to run around. You won't need nobody to read your stars for you, because your stars are on your inside. You only need to discover them and let them shine forth. I'll see you again next week, okay? Probably if we have questions, I'm going to treat them this next week. If we don't have questions, I'm coming up with another very powerful topic. Next week is going to be great, because by next week we'll be in February, and then we'll start to talk about business, how to build your business from zero up. I know a lot of you are there. You've been thinking, I want to do this, I want to do that. How do I start? What do I need? How do I get started? Honestly, we are about to get into action, because this year something must happen for you. I'll tell my own personal story, and then I'll be inviting a couple of people to be joining me on this program, not just in Parma, from all over the world. I will look for people that are doing successfully in whatever field they are doing in, and then we'll learn from them. We'll learn from their mistakes, and then we'll be able to grow together. But I tell you, it's going to be powerful. When I mean powerful, this year is going to be powerful. We've started and we are not stopping. I want to say thank you very much for sharing this video. Please keep sharing it. That it ends does not mean you should not share it. Every morning you wake up, you see it again, you share it. You see it again, you share. You can share as many times as possible. Very soon I will begin to reward those that are sharing this video for me. I mean, I have so many means of rewarding them. You know, I love fun, so it's going to be fun. All right, I will be rewarding them, and they're going to be blessed for it. Okay, I mean, because if you share this video, you are doing me a really, really great deal of of good. Okay, so thank you very much. I want to say thank you to Cleveland TV and radio, and like I said, it's just really coming to me right now. We want to do this program in Spanish also, so I want you to support us. I want you to be there for us. Very soon I will tell you in what ways you can partner with Topsol, in what ways we can promote your business, in what ways we can partner together in anything you are doing, and we are always there to support you. Thank you very much. I'll see you again next week, Monday by 8 p.m. Central European Time. God bless you. God bless your dream. And please ask yourself the question, why? Thank you.